Parashat Chayei Sarah. This parasha, usually everybody likes to get along about, talk about Eliezer and the days. We're going to take a little detour like we've been doing for the past few weeks, and we'll see where it takes us. We have a lot to say, but time permitting. Okay, so in this parasha, Lema'aseh, practically we are saying goodbye to Avraham and Sarah, because Avraham also goes away in this parasha. And however, before they go away, and before Avraham Avinu dies and Sarah dies, there is still at least one more chance to learn a big lesson about the essence of Chesed and what Chesed is all about. We know that Avraham Avinu were very practical people, and the thing is to remember is being practical. Anshe Ma'aseh, they were always doing things. Even when they had nothing else to do, Avraham was taking care of the men, Sarah will take care of the women, they were Megayah people, they were bringing people closer to Hashem, and so on. So they were always active in doing things. The Netivot Shalom says, the Kol Inyan Parashiot Ele, I'm quoting, Kol Inyan Parashiot Ele, the whole idea behind those parashiot that we've been dealing so far, in other words, the parashiot of Avraham Avinu, is ללמדנו איך על ידי החסד שלו התחיל בניין עולם התיקון. How by Avraham Avinu's chesed, act of kindness and chesed, the tikkun olam, fixing the world, had started. The world was in disrepair. It was like in the stage of a catastrophe after Noach and the Mabul and all the other good guys over there. Avraham Avinu started to the tikkun olam. And because it says, as we said last time in Tehillim, let's say everybody did the Chazara. Where does it say which Tehillim? Tehillim what? 27. What? 60. No. 52. What's Peitet, Sam?
82. I'm sorry.
Peitet! 89. What does it say over there in Pasuk Gimel? Ki olam chesed yibaleh. That's why you say Yitzchak v'tasem. Olam chesed yibaleh. In order for us to understand that it's not only that midat chesed is the binyan and tikkun olam, but tikkun olam also, whether it's olam, the big world out there and the world outside, is also the tikkun olam of the world of us inside. Olam chesed yibaneh. In other words, you have to build and establish everything on the midah of chesed, on kindness, even if it refers to you, because every person is olam katan. Everybody is a small person. Again, it says in a different Tehillim, chesed el. What did it say, chesed el? Who said that? Rezi. Reads Tehillim. Which Tehillim is that? 52. Verse?
17.
3. Yeah. So on that, the Rav from Kurbin says the following, and again I'm quoting, שבכל יום ויום מחויב יהודי לעשות מעשה חסד. Every day a Jew is obligated to do at least one act of chesed, שלא יעבור עליו אפילו יום אחד ללא חסד, that he should not go even one day without one act of chesed, without one act of kindness. And it says, "V'yom she'eino oseh bo chesed," and a day in which a Jew does not do any kind of act of kindness, "eino nichshav lo leyom bechayav," is not considered to be a day in your life. Ya Habibi. But again, act of kindness doesn't mean that you see somebody, on the side of the road and you just jump, from the left lane to the right lane. Yeah, reaching out to change the tire. It could be just holding the door for someone. That's also an act of chesed. Right? It was very strange that we went to do shopping today. So there's a woman and her daughter. They were looking for some tomato sauce. There were two Israeli women. They're looking for tomatoes. They couldn't find it. So I heard them. I said, "Come, let me show you where it is." So I showed her where it is. She says, "Really? Here, it's right there." She couldn't stop saying me thank you. I said, "It's okay. I don't work here. It's okay." She was so thankful, so appreciative. And I said, "For crying out loud, what did I do? I just showed her where's tomato sauce." That is also an act of chesed. You could do chesed all over, all the time. And that's the beginning and we can write books on it and we can speak about this days. But it's so important into the existence of a Jew to have involvement daily, at least one act of chesed a day. And it doesn't have to be only for Jews, only for these people, or for everybody, for all humans out there. An act of chesed. When we say tikkun olam, we are fixing the world. We're not just fixing the Jews, we're fixing the world. So that means an act of chesed to anyone. And then we need to remember that. More than that, the Shla says, she'ashefa ha'elyon, that the great abundance that comes from above, nishpa al yedem midat ha'chesed. In other words, midat ha'chesed, the quality of the chesed, is what causes the abundance in the world to come down. Excuse me, because if there's no chesed in the world, why do you need all this wealth? Why do you need all these resources? For what? For whom? HaKadosh Baruch Hu is given to us to do something good with it, not for yourself. So, he says, שעל ידי זה, שהיהודי עוסק בחסד, הרי הוא ממשיך חסד מן השמיים. When a Jew does chesed, he pulls down and he continues the chesed that it comes from Shamayim. Therefore, and every single day from his life, a Jew should look forward and should look to do chesed im chavero, some kind of act of kindness to his friend, to his fellow human being, to his fellow Jew, begufo, with his body, or bemamono, with his money, or benafsho, or with the soul. In other words, you see somebody who's a little down, cheer him up. It's an act of chesed. Talk to him. Don't make him feel lonely. That's an act of chesed. And he writes, כמו ללמוד לו איזה עניין, או לחזקו באיזה דיבור טוב, teach him something, talk to him about something, say something good to him, and so on and so forth. שעל ידי זה שעושה חסד, because you do chesed, the Shla says, משפיעים עליו חסד מן השמיים. There's also kindness that come upon you from above. In other words, you are making yourself into the vessel where the chesed comes to this world. You become a resource to this world, and it's very important to tap into this thing. You think you're going to go to an Ivy school, right? And you're going to score the top 1% here and do 1% there, and you get yourself a very good job and a very good, so on and so forth, and you're learning to become this, because that doesn't mean anything. You can go to the best school, you can go become top percent in Harvard, and all of a sudden you can get a job as a lawyer. Or who knows what. Chesed mishamayim will come upon you based on what the chesed is that you do with others here. You need to make yourself into the appropriate vessel to bring this abundance down. The goodness down to this earth. It was given to you. What would you do with it? And I would hate to think about a person who wins the mega super million Powerball and so on and so forth, and all they did is wasted it on themselves and not doing any good. I would hate to be in their place when they have to come and face God up there, and then he will have to ask him, I gave you 1.6 or whatever, 1 point whatever, and whoever millions of dollars or billions of dollars. What have you done with it? Or anybody else who has tremendous wealth, he will have to give, he, she, or it, whatever it will be today, he will have to give an account for why is it that they, for example, bought themselves a $150 million estate in Idaho, where they could have solved some problems with feeding up, poor people and helping out people in need. Why did you need this? When you bought yourself, 3,000 acres in South Dakota. Well, what do you need this for? Where people are starving, people don't have clothes. You have to give this a cheshbon. There is a reason. HaKadosh Baruch Hu saw you as a good resource, but you're betraying his trust. A person needs to be very, very careful. It's a tremendous nisayon to have money and to understand that this is not you. It was given to you, and now what you're going to do with it. Now what you're going to do with it. And so therefore, we need to see, which is very nice. But we need to see really what would prevent us. Eliyahu, eat something, tzaddik. It's not Persian food, but it's really yummy. Okay, תאכל, יאללה, תעמוד. הרחב פיך ועמלהו. בין העם משפחת הבלענים, יאללה. תאכל. So we need to see really what prevents us, or what are some of the elements that prevent us from doing chesed. What really prevents us from reaching this level, what we call hashpa'a gemura, complete influence, that we'll be able to influence people around us, society around us, and so on and so forth. And of course, you could see that usually, as they say, bala me'au bala dea, right? If you have the money, you will want to determine what's going to be with things, right? You're the voice. If you have the money, you have the voice. You have the power. You got the power. You lost that bet at the time, remember? So, that was an expensive bet. Running in the snow, yeah. Anyway, so, if you have a lot of money and people would listen to you, why aren't you making a change? Why aren't you setting an example? That's also something that you have to worry about this. Why I'm not able to be mashpia people to be better? Because you see, if the rich person will say something, everybody will go after him. And the same thing, by the way, also to all what we call all our idols, all the movie stars and all, how do you call these people? Celebrities. Nothing to celebrate about them celebrities, but they could influence things so good, but they're pushing their own stupid agenda and they're not doing anything good. On the contrary, sometimes they're ruined. But what prevents us from doing tremendous hashpah? Why can we influence our friends, our families, ourselves? What are those main obstacles that we have? How do we come to this reality, or make this into a reality that we will be involved in chesed all the time? So one of the ways to do so is we could look at the test that Eliezer had towards Rivka. Yeah, I know, I'm not going to talk about Eliezer, but I'm trying to minimize it a little bit. So if we're going to see what the test was, and everybody knows what the test was, something great comes out right away. We learn many things from it. But one of the things that we learn is, the superiority of midat chesed. How superior is chesed over rachamim? Kindness over mercy. Eliezer did not want that the girl, whoever girl will be, would only give him water. Right? He wanted it to give the camels. Why? What was the problem? What was the idea behind it? Why didn't he test her if she's going to give water for him and to his men? The idea is that midat marachamim is awakened by the person who receives that, by the receiver. In other words, when a person sees another person suffering from pain, from agony, or whatever it is, it touches your heart. You feel compassion to this person, and that is awaken you up, and then you help him to so-called ease the pain, right? You feel bad for the guy. You feel sorry for the guy. You see some starving people in Biafra, or in whatever it is. So you do campaign. You get all the rock stars, everybody, then you feel good, and you move back home and so on. There's some rachamim. You see a kid dying in Darfur or whatever the heck that is. Not in Gaza or the convoys and stuff like this. Convoy, by the way, was a very interesting movie in the 70s, but it wasn't anything political about that. Needless to say, it's only because you saw something and that was awakened inside of you. Until now, people didn't care. If I would not show you hungry people somewhere in downtown Africa, you would not really care about them. You don't care about them. You probably even call them names or whatever it is. But all of a sudden you see, oh, miskinim, because you feel that pain. That's rachamim, that's mercy. So it's only awakened. You're receiving an image, and it's awakened something in you, which is mercy, right? You see a kid crying, you remember when you were a kid, and it wakes something with you. Now, but the issue of the chesed, that a true ish chesed always looking to do more chesed, not more money, more chesed. Right? I want to do more chesed. Without any connection, without any kind of connection between his heart or what's awakened in his heart and so on and so forth. Because if it's only from the heart, you're the one who is receiving, and the one who's doing chesed is the one who is actually giving and is influencing. It becomes the mashpia. You cause me to feel, some kind of mutual pain. So I was the receiver. Yes, I'm giving you so on, but you had awakened that in me. When I want to do chesed, I do it from myself, from within, and I'm giving it to you without you even asking. I'm giving, I'm influencing. And if you want to know many times, listen, in the frum world, there's a ton of chesed that people do. A ton of chesed. A ton. However, maybe we don't do enough. Look, for example, I remember Magen David was the ones who always used to go when the Chas v'Shalom was an accident or this or the bomb or something. Today the first one to go is Zaka. There's like religious people who became like the first on the scene in Israel when it's a major car accident or is some kind of a terrorist attack or something. These are people who are, like you and me, but they're dedicated themselves to something sacred, which is called the Jewish life and even Jewish afterlife. And what they do is like unbelievable. I don't know how these people can live, with themselves from the things that they see and the things that they do. But I guess when it's really act of chesed, it's a little different. Maybe I'm not at that level yet, so for me, I won't be able to live with such scenes and so on and so forth. But for them, it's chesed. It's a totally different zone that people are at. So if you want to give money, by the way, that's a good way to give money also. If you want to give to Zakah in Israel. Or to Hatzalah here also, also be a good idea. But people don't think about their Shabbat or think about their comfort, in the middle of, who knows what they're doing, just at 12 o'clock at night, at home, all of a sudden they get a cold, they drop everything, and they maybe dropped everything, but they put everything on, and they're around to help the person, regardless of what it is. Regardless of what it is, they're going. They go. It's like a family meal or a birthday or whatever it is. They drop and they go. These are different people. These are different people. And they have it within themselves. We need to learn how to wake it up inside of us. So I think first of all is that we need to want to change. We want to make this world better. Most of us don't, and we'll get to this to the end. I see we're going to be a little late today. I hope you guys don't mind. You do mind? Anybody minds? You don't mind. Good. All right, so we do Gemara Mezrat Hashem next week. Meanwhile, there's plenty of food here thanks to Eitan Grossman Siyum on Seder Nashim. Wow, unbelievable. So it smells good. It's good company, good beer. Good, yes. Good food, very good food. So if we want to be mashpia, then we'll look for those things to do. But yeah, most of us don't really care about the situation of the way things are. Michael, eat something. You look bad. Therefore, Eliezer tried to test Rivka with this business with the camels and not the people, because not everybody has what we call it orerut rachamim of animals, right? And by this you can actually measure what's the quality of chesed that Rivka has within her in terms of chesed shel emet, what we call. If she's going to give water to the camels, or she only going to act because she feels bad for Eliezer, that after all was like an old dude over there, so she felt bad when he came sweating, he was tired, it was sweaty all over the place, and so on and so forth. So she gave him water. No, she gave the camels first, so she has tremendous chesed. Of course, we're talking about Gemilut Chasadim. Maybe that's where it comes from, Gemilut Chasadim, from the act of the Gamal, right? But when we say Gemilut Chasadim, and we spoke about it beforehand, is I'm doing some chesed to you. I'm causing you chesed. In other words, those people who do chesed, see themselves as see the opportunity for them to do chesed. It's something that you gave them a schut, and schut milshon zach, you make them pure. So you help them, so they are grateful for you, and that's why they want to do more chesed. The Torah says to us that the peak of midat chesed is to take care of a person, of course, to bring him to a proper burial. And that's what we create, what we call chesed shel emet, or chesed im hametim, and so on and so forth. And we see this in our parasha when Avraham Avinu is really insisting on buying the property from Ephron over there, and not taking it. So then we say, yeah, for the future, so nobody will have a claim, blah, 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 the whole entire thing. You know what? I don't agree with that. And I'll tell you why I don't agree with that. Because Avraham Avinu is greater than that to bring himself in an occasion, such thing as his beloved wife died, to start making all kind of futuristic real estate investment. My kids will get it, I will buy it, they bought it, you know. Avraham Avinu is way above this thing. Avraham Avinu says, this is an act of chesed for my beloved wife. For my beloved wife. I want to make sure that I give her the proper burial. In other words, when you bury a person and you buy him a plot, that person can never return it to you, can never pay you back. You're doing so out of the kindness of your heart. He did it from the kindness of his heart. He says, I want to do it for her. I want the best for her. And I want to pay for it. I don't need a favor from Ephron. I want to pay for it. I want to do the last act of caring that I can do for her, I want to do. And I'm going to buy it. I don't need favors. Right? And that's what sometimes I'm really like, people don't understand what does it mean burial, especially Jews don't understand it. It's a new thing. Oh, we're gonna do cremation. We're gonna put him in a box, and then we're going to spread our ashes all over the ocean. You don't understand what it is. You burnt a person, right? You burnt the person. You put him in a jar that big, right? You spread him over the ocean. That's it. Goodbye. You have nothing to do with this person anymore. Shalom. I don't have to spend a penny for you. Goodbye. $500 cremation, go shipping to Israel, it's like, $10,000. And then to buy the lot there and so on and so forth. Right? Because it's easier. I mean, I just burn it and put him in the ocean and it's okay, it's perfectly fine. I'm going to spend money on this guy, he's dead already. But what do I care? But the fact that we say, no, I'm going to buy him the best lot and I'm going to put a nice stone. Of course, do not put pictures on your grave sites. Right? We're not, what's the name? Shabtaim, we don't do this thing with Muslims. We don't do those things. Well, I want to do the right thing for this person. I want to put a nice stone. I want to give him a proper burial because that's an act of chesed. I was lucky enough to see people doing real chesed in my life that I can only envy them that they were able to reach such a level of chesed in their lives. And I mean, it's not something that you're born with this. It's something you really need to work on it a lot. One of them was my father, alav shalom. Tremendous baal chesed. Tremendous baal chesed. My father didn't care if it was a Jew, it was an Arab, a person was in need, he would help him. And my father was a very right-wing person. Very right-wing. But a person was in need, he helped him. So also my godfather, right? It was an unbelievable ish chesed. Unbelievable. There were no such things. There's no such thing in this world. Unbelievable people. I saw it. And I saw how great those people were. I'm going to tell you something. People back then did not have a lot. They had small houses. They didn't have a lot. But they did have a big heart. Today we have big houses, but very small hearts. So maybe to have such big houses is not the best thing for you. Because afterward, when you're dead, you're not going to be measured by how big your house is. You're going to be measured how big your heart is. How much was your heart was able to generate this selflessness, not selfishness, selflessness from you to give to others. I want to show you, I want you to show me, anyone that you know, go through the whole inventory in your head of people that you know. They will be willing to take a whole entire family for 8 months in the house, taking care of the food, of all the needs. without even blinking an eye and even thinking to ask money. I had experienced that. That's what happened to us when my father was in a war, and this man took us and his wife, my sandak, took us to his house. Not a word, everything I wanted and more. We're people like this. They don't make them like that anymore. You know why? Because we got swallowed by a big house, by our needs. We don't do chesed. We have big houses. We never bring guests over. How much achnasat orchim do you do? How much are you willing to give from yourself? If you don't pay me, I don't do that. But it's an act of chesed, for crying out loud. Pay me, I'll do it. How many times we heard that? And Rabotai, I'm sorry to tell you, even when it comes to Torah, to the holiest, most precious thing that we have as a nation and as people, why? You don't pay me? I don't do that. It's all about money. What happened to us? We're not going to fix the world like this. And I'm going to tell you something. We're not going to be able to be machzir b'tshuva anybody. People are not stupid. People see. If you do so for free, without any money, I want to help you because I want to help you, because I feel you're one of me. You're a part of me. You're a part of my soul. You're a bone of my bones. You have a good chance to bring in machzir b'tshuva. But if they know, people again are not stupid, and they feel that you're only nice to them because you have money, because they have money and you want their money, you're not fooling anybody, mister. That's chesed, Rabotai. You have to give from yourself because you have to be thankful for the opportunity for you to give. And therefore you have to be thankful for the person who created this opportunity for you to give. And that's the schut. And schut, we said, Mishon Zach, he cleans you. He cleans you inside. And you got to be thankful for him. Now, the more you want to be clean, the more chesed you would look to do. It's very simple, Rabotai. It's very, very simple. So, we're going to skip a little bit the Kabbalah stuff out of here. Maybe we'll talk to... Eitan, you coming tomorrow? Bezrat Hashem. Everything Bezrat Hashem. But the question is, are you coming tomorrow? Bezrat Hashem. You sound like a... Are you a robot? You sound like, what's the name? איך קוראים לזאתי? Alexa. Alexa, you come tomorrow. Bezrat Hashem. I don't know that answer. Anyway, so I'm going to skip some of the Kabbalah stuff I wanted to do, and I'm going to go to a different parts, kind of continue into where we just stopped. And we need to understand, and we must understand, and it's very important that we'll understand that in our nature we like to be very static. We don't like to move. We don't like to change. We don't like to move. We like things the way they are, and this is probably why we like things, the way they are. We don't like to change anything, even if it's negative. And it could be a relationship. A person is in a bad relationship, abusive relationship, a dead relationship. Could be in a bad place, where it could be in a bad job. The boss is taking advantage of you, but for real, not every worker always feels that the boss takes advantage of him until he becomes the boss, and then he take, you know how it works. But really taking advantage of you, he's not nice to you, is nasty. No, it's bad. Well, most people would not change. Tell them, Habibi, it's bad. They're not going to change. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. It's going to be better. Most of us would tell you right in the open that they would rather stay with the troubles, with the headaches, with the tzaras, which they know and they have, than to maybe try to make a change and maybe say something else. Let me stay with what I have. I don't want to change anything, because the change, I don't know what's going to be at the end. So let me know what I know rather than what I don't know. It could be good, it could be bad, but you know what? I'm staying where I am. And that is because we all came from afar, from dirt. Me'afar bata u'le'afar tashuv, right? Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, right? And afar by itself is setting. It sets, If I'm going to take a bag and put dirt around your feet, I'm going to put you down. It's going to go down, right? If I'm going to put cement, it's good. In order to make the cement better, I need to put sand. What? 2 to 1? Usually you put, right? 3 to 1, 2 to 1, right? And that's why our teva chomri, our materialistic part of us, urge of us, is really causes us to stay in the same situation. To stay in the same situation. In order to be zariz, and we talked about when we learned Mesilat Yesharim, in order to be zariz, to be quick, that means to go against your materialistic inclination, your materialistic nature. That always wants to sit down and rest, that doesn't want to do anything. It's very brute, not refined. It just wants to stay all day long, mucho trabajo, poco dinero, drink tequila all day long, give me some Corona, eat a taco all day long, don't do nothing, right? Something like this, very unrefined, unsophisticated. And it's okay, I can make fun of Spanish people, I'm Spanish myself, right? So the Ramchal, of course, in Mesilat Yesharim, talks a lot about that, and it's exactly specific this point when it talks about midat ha'atzlut, being lazy, in the Mesilat Yesharim, and he says the following: "V'tir'eh ki teva adam kaved meod." The nature of a person is to be very heavy, like Led Zeppelin, very heavy. Ki ofriyut hachomer gas. It's the material in which we're made is very unrefined. It's dirt. It's unrefined. Al ken lo yachpotz adam betorach hamelacha. A person, because of that, a person doesn't want to work hard or doesn't want to work at all. ומי שרוצה לזכות לעבודת הבורא יתברך, a person that wants to really acquire what we call עבודת השם, צריך שיתגבר נגד טבעו עצמו. You need to overcome your own personal nature. ויתגבר ויזדרז. Not only you have to overcome it, you have to be very quick about it. שאם הוא מניח עצמו ביד כבדותו, ודאי הוא שלא יצליח. If you're going to let your nature lead you, you're not going to be successful. You have to go against your nature. So for a person who is looking for a meaning in his life, and most of us are looking, hopefully, for meaning in our lives, one like that needs to understand that to be set and established is a double jeopardy, is a catastrophe, is a double catastrophe. Because if you want to be mitkadem, if you want to be mitkadem beruchniyut, you want to elevate yourself in spirituality, you have to do one thing, Rabotai. Lech, lecha, twice. Go. You can't stay in Aram, whatever it is, Aram Naharaim, whatever you were. You understand now why he didn't want to go back? Because he left there. He couldn't. Avraham Avinu could not have gone back. That's why he sent Eliezer. Going back means I'm left everything that I acquired. I'm going back to where I was, and the place that symbolizes who I was and what was this place was all about. I'm never going back there. I'm not even taking a chance going back there. That's why he sent Eliezer as a shaliach. Besides the fact that he was very old. So a person that is very hard for him with changes, some people are very difficult with changes. Any kind of change scares them a lot, and so on and so forth, whether it's changing a job, changing an apartment, changing a friend, changing a habit, or anything like this. A person like that is going to be very difficult for him to elevate himself spiritually as well. And along the line with that is also kiyum mitzvot, doing the mitzvot. It's going to be very hard for you. There are people who are shomrei Torah, mitzvot. They do all the mitzvot, but it's like an automatic pilot. They do it because that's what it is, do it like this, and so on and so forth. As Chazal calls it, mitzvat anashim melumada. That's it. I learn how to do it. It's a habit. Where you're doing asiyah from an internal flame really needs a constant rejuvenation. And you're always exploring, and you're looking to do things better, and constant willingness to overcome that dirt inside of you that kind of brings you down all the time. There are many people who believe in all their heart and that there is a Kadosh Baruch Hu, and He gave us Torah and so on and so forth. But really, and you see it, they really refuse, as we call it, to jump into the water and really to swim and to accept upon themselves the necessary changes for their behavior as a result of what we call emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? And what he tells us to do and not to do and stuff like this. So the people like this, the midah of the zrizut is really lacking because they're staying where they are. You need to bring yourself to be agile, to move. And why is that? Because what you said, because they are stuck all the time in an imaginary fantasy that it is very difficult for them to actually make the change and to become something better. It's very hard to learn Torah. There's so many books to learn, so many machlokot. It's very hard. It's not for me. Listen, if I had the brains of Rav Ovadia Yosef, how do you know you don't? How do you know? Do you know what chip HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to implant in your head once you decide to become that? How do you know it's hard? Oh, and then you always tell me, Rabbi, Parnasa, I have a kid, I have this. Yeah? And how about all the people that do have kids and do have wives and they able to do so? You're Gus, you're brute, you're unrefined, you're lazy, you are jumping into the water with cement around you, cement blocks on your feet. You're never going to be able to elevate yourself. Ever. And that's not a way for a Jew, because Kiyum HaMitzvot is dependent on you moving, not settling down. Na v'na tiyeh ba'aretz. You could move up and down the land. Don't sit up. Igati el hamenucha u'lanachala. Your stop is going to be olam haba, and tzaddikim lo olam haba en lahem menucha, because they go from one level to another level all the time. You're never going to sit there in siesta all the time. Why do you think people want so much drugs and to be sedated and the smoke and the alcohol and the marijuana and the avocado and whatever else they do over there? Because that justifies them being brute and unrefined and unsophisticated and classless. People don't have class in the world anymore. It's disgusting the way things are. And that's because of lack of zrizut. Everybody has an entitlement. Magiali, I deserve it. I don't want to go get her, to do something, to get up, to try. And that all is a plague that we all being plagued by. And then sometimes you even make a tirutz. You know, Rabbi, I'm going to sit in kollel. I'm throwing everything behind me. You know, wait. How can you sit in kollel to sit down and learn when you are still so heavy? You're going to become a burden to society. If ata zariz be'avodat haboreh and you really, you really see it, well, sit down and learn, because we need more people like you. The more, the better. But we don't need more brute people in this pure place. It's called Torah for you to destroy it. It doesn't mean you can't learn, but you must start refining yourself. You can procrastinate. You gotta move on all the time. And that will really make you help you break the habits that you do, and break basically the fear that you have, the anxiety that you have from really make crucial changes in your life. As Zorba the Greek says, every man needs a little bit madness to be able to cut the rope and be free. Yes, you're right. People might think that you are crazy. But what do you care? You're going to be free. Cut the rope that anchors you down and go be free. And we must do that. So that quality of heaviness and laziness that really prevents us from being able to identify and to implement all the chances that we have, we can bring like a million examples from our lives, endless examples, and so on and so forth. For example, if there is a chance of you to give money to a person who is needed, before you go, the guy is gone. There is a story in the Gemara about Rabbi Nachum Ish Gamzo, that he came from the supermarket. They had like schlepping stuff in his hand. Comes to him a guy and says, "Listen, Rabbi, I'm hungry. I need something to eat." And then, okay, just wait a minute. Let me just finish putting all the stuff home. I'll put it in the elevator, send it up like this. I'll unpack it, then I'll come. So he goes, unpacks, and brings him a plate. And all of a sudden, he sees the guy is dead. And he was very upset about it. He says, somebody should cut my feet, cut my legs, that they were so stubborn and so heavy to run. He basically took a responsibility for this guy's death because he wasn't fast enough. And that's a midah in all of us. We have a mitzvah, you have to do it. You have a mitzvah, and mitzvah is many. And that includes, Rabotai, by being a minyan on time, coming to learn on time. Haba liyadcha mitzvah, al tachmitzeh. In other words, what does it mean becomes chametz? Chametz is unusable. It becomes spoiled. You might think you can do it later, but it's already spoiled. The mitzvah that you're doing is spoiled. It's tinted with a quality of laziness to it. Very quick, very quick. And right now, most of you have a chance to sit down and learn. And you're so lethargic about it. You have to run here. You have to run faster than Jackie Robinson. Before it became a highway, now it doesn't move anywhere. Right? It's always clogged over. You have to move. You have to be fast. So you're coming to daven in a minyan, be on time. Be on time means, argument's sake, let's say they start at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, you have tefillin on, you're ready to go. You're not just strolling 8:05, 8:10, checking your tefillin, in the middle taking your telephone, looking like this, selfie, 1 second, me in the shul. What is this thing what people have with selfies also? Me with tefillin at this side, me with tefillin on the other side. Comes 8:15, you're still like this, 1 second, what's up? Instagram, this, Rabotai, quick, let's go. Pow! That's why it's good to be in the army. And you learn this with the bullets flying over your head. You can't say, עכשיו סבבה, אני יושב פה מעשן, bullets are flying, right? They tell you, אתה זוכר? עכשיו you're entering, you're about to enter some kind of house in Jenin or something. רגע, מפקד, commander in chief, hold on 1 second. I need to smoke 1 second a cigarette, like this. Anybody can get me espresso, please? Then we coming in. רגע. Hello, Ima, מה נשמע? You have to move fast. You know why? Because if not, the bullet will get you. Quick, swift. The faster you go, the better it is. You have to learn those things. So if you don't want to go to the army, guess what? You want to get books and read about it. Or watch some movies. What's his name, this guy? Michael Woldenberg, whatever it is. Goldenberg, whatever his name is. Mark Woldenberg, what's his name?
Goldberg.
Goldberg. Goldberg, okay, watch some kind of army movies. Get some idea of what you need to do.
Rambo.
Rambo? Rambo like it's anything but that, anything but that. Be like a Delta operator, like a Navy SEAL, like commando. Run, swift, bang, bang, bang. Right? If you guys ever did sparring, right? You don't go to the guy like this. Okay, let's go now. I'm going to punch you with the... No, you go bam, bam, bam. Right, Michael? 1, 2, 3. Overwhelm him with speed. Same thing here. When the Yetzer Hara comes, you need to overwhelm it with speed. You don't give it time to raise his hand. Raise his hand, boom, you smack it again. That's the way it works. And which brings us to one of the tricks of the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara keeps telling you the following. We have plenty of time. Rabbi, I have plenty of time. No, so when is your paper due? It's in the end of September. And where are we now? Beginning of August. Okay, no, so get it done. Don't worry, Rabbi, I got plenty of time. All of a sudden November comes and you have to take the course all over again, right? I have plenty of time. There's going to be plenty of time in the future for me to do whatever I want. Right now I need to go get a job. I need to go to stay. All the things that I wanted. Oh wait, I can tell you something, guys. All the things that you want to do, if you haven't done it now, you would never do them again. I guarantee you that. I mean, when are you going to do your backpack trip to go to, I don't know what, to Glacier Park? When you're going to be 50 years old and you have a prostate the size of a watermelon? When are you going to do that? When are you going to go, doing all those wonderful things you want to do? When? When you're in diapers? Again? When are you going to do that? Never. It's time to do it now. But you always go for what seems to be secure, but you're giving up something great, which is your life. You're giving up not only your life, and the reason why you give up your life is because you give up the meaning for your life. And the meaning of your life will be by becoming more ruchani, more spiritual. And that, you cannot be lazy. You can't be lazy. And listen, I'm sure you can look around and you'll see people who are like 50, 60, 70 years old and so on and so forth, that all of a sudden they're gonna say, man, where was I all this life? Where was it? What now? Where was my life gone? And you're going to wake up one day and you're going to be hopefully 60 years old and you're going to realize that you probably lived more than you have to live. Yeah, I know everybody's promised you to 120 and so on and so forth. But let's be reasonable. How many people actually make it to 120?
Nobody.
Maybe if you're some dude in Japan, I don't know, eating seaweed all day long. Yeah, I think if I would have Jiro making me sushi every day, I would also live to like 120. Well, he could probably going to be like 50,000 by then. But you know what I'm saying? So if a person is 60 years old, or most people retire at 67, what do you have to live? Most people go by 80. You have 13 years, bar mitzvah years to live. And then you're going to tell me that then you're going to go on to your trips, you're going to learn all the things you wanted to learn? When are you going to do it? And that attitude is not just for having fun. It is an attitude that follows you in everything that you do in life. And that is going to be the biggest obstacle in your success. Not to what school you went to, not who was your daddy, who was your mommy, And nothing to do with that. It's how much are you willing to move, to hustle, to move, to look for meaning. And if it's not good, you switch. Okay, so I invested so many years. Let's say, for example, you work something or you did something for 10 years. Okay. So most people tell you, well, I put 10 years into that, I'm going to leave it now. Oh, yeah. Because you have another 40 years to go, 30 years to go. So, yes, change it now. But Rabbi, I went to this kind of school and I have for $500,000 debt. All right. Is that worth your life? Is your life worth $500,000? I don't think so. And you need to remember that. And that will be also about you starting and finishing Masechtas. And you need to start and finish learning. You need to learn. To take a Masechta to finish it. It doesn't make a difference what is it that you do. You need to move from one thing to another. And we say that when we make the siyum. Ken ta'azor li ligmor, to finish other masachtot and so on and so forth. Because I always want to be in this stage of learning and moving and learning. And it doesn't make a difference if you finish Shas Mishnayos, or you finish Shas Gemara, or you did Bavli, or you did Yerushalmi, or you finish Shulchan Aruch. It doesn't make a difference. Finish something. Learn to start and finish. Most of us don't, and that's why most of us don't get anywhere. And that is the chesed that you need to do with yourself. Because you are also considered to be olam. And Rabotai, you need to live with your life with like as the end is near, because you don't know when it's going to be here. And we need to make the best of it. And whatever there will be, try to be more aware of opportunities to be more kind. Better people. I just can't believe what some people who call themselves rabbi said about that massacre that happened in Pittsburgh. I mean, sheer stupidity. Stupidity. If a person was killed because he was a Jew, he died on Kiddush Hashem regardless of what he did. That's between God and him. You need to look at him that came there to kill Jews. Whether they're conservative, they were reformed, they were reconstructionists, construction with license or without license. You gotta help, and you gotta feel the pain. And we gotta help one another. Whatever they do in the prophets' lives, that's their business, not your business. Your business is to help, to be kind, to reach out, to make sure that no Jew left behind. That you see a Jew, every Jew that you see is an opportunity. Then believe me, they want you to know they're Jewish. They want your help. And you should grab this opportunity to help people with two hands. If you had a third one, you'll grab it with that as well. We must do that. We must help one another. We have to stop with this thing. I'm going to make sure that the other one's not going to succeed because I want to be the big chief on the block. Reprimand people like this. Give them tochecha. There's plenty of work to do for everybody. There are plenty of Jews that are not shomer Torah and mitzvot. We don't need to take the people that are already shomer Torah and mitzvot from where they are. Leave them where they are. You weren't there to bring them up, but why are you taking away from somebody? Leave them where they are. Go reach out to those who need your help. That's called Olam Chesed. Then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will have Chesed on us. Gomel Chasadim Tovim Vezocher Chazdei Avot. Remembers the Chesed of our forefathers. It's all about Chesed all the time. Learn to give from yourself, and I guarantee you, if you're going to learn to give from yourself, you find out that A, you have more than enough. You have more than you realize that you have. And B, you're going to have very fulfilled life. Whether they're going to be long or not, that's not, but they're going to be fulfilled. The length of the life doesn't make a difference, more of the meaning in it. So, Abotai, Olam Chesed Yibaneh, we need to build it. All of us. To put shoulder to shoulder. And reach out to every Jew, Ba'asher Hu. And if there's another person who is not a Jew, you got to help them too. Because Olam Chesed, we have to make this into a better world. And never make the cheshbon of money or kavod or honor. That should not come in that equation whatsoever. So thank you for Eitan for doing the siyum today and giving us this chut. That's sharing. You see, he shared the simcha with us. That's also an act of chesed. Not only he shared, he also gave us here a nice meal. And girls, they're interested in Eitan. He's a wonderful person, great looking guy, almost as good as his rabbi. Knows how to cook. He cooks very well. He looked, turn the camera, no, don't turn the camera. The camera's on me. Huh? A mispah. Oh, okay. Any girl who's interested in dating my sweetheart Eitan can reach me at Rabbi Gaon at, what is it? Gmail.com, and I would gladly pass you over Eitan's resume. I can tell you this, he would make one of a heck of a husband, a wonderful Jewish person. I love Eitan. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.